All right, so we are back to discussing the developments regarding the war in West Asia, and in an alarming escalation targeting Gulf energy infrastructure, the Kuwait Petroleum Corporation reports that a second oil refinery has now been struck by a drone, igniting a fire. The latest incident hit the Mina Abdullah refinery operated by the Kuwait National Petroleum Company, following an earlier drone attack on the nearby Mina Al-Ahmadi refinery earlier today. If I can also circle back to the ambassador on this. Ambassador, the Air Commodore also has been talking about phases of war. And this is the very critical phase that now the world is witnessing. Both the warring factions are now targeting energy infrastructure. This does not have implications on just them. It has larger ramifications on the world, and it's starting to have those ripple effects slowly and steadily. We are seeing attacks in the Gulf region. We are obviously talking about Kuwait being attacked, UAE, Qatar, all are seeing disruptions in production as well. This will take a very long time, Ambassador, to fix the energy crisis if the production units are hit.
Certainly, Shivani, this this escalation is, I think, so far, of course, everybody was focusing on the Strait of Hormuz, but now the production facilities are being targeted by the both sides. Though U.S. President Trump is saying that it was done by Israel, and he's instructing them not to continue, but it's the second time or third time when Israel has attacked. First attack took place about a week back when they attacked in Tehran on the depot, oil depots of Tehran, of Iran in Tehran, and which was a lot of soot and all things were seen at the time. And that time also, President Trump said, "I was not aware, and I have instructed not to do that because I don't want to have a long-term implications." I will use within inverted commas the long-term implications on the oil, because he's worried about the oil prices, because it will be not only force him domestically but even internationally, because every country is worried about that. And so his idea was at the time also that let's not force this issue here. But he himself, attacked this Kharb island, and then he said, "I will do it again for fun." I guess that encouraged Israel to start this attack on facilities in Iran. Or of course, Iran has retaliated now very viciously, I would say, on the facilities in particular in Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and Kuwait, and very much halting the production. And result is that we are seeing the prices have gone already touched, I think, $115 per barrel today. So this is, I think, further escalation, and you are absolutely right that it will take long time to fix this. We should remember what happened in Iraq in 2003, 2004, when the oil fields were put on fire by Saddam Hussein in Kuwait as well as in Iraq itself. It took a very long time fortunately there is no fire like that at this moment but it can spread. If this fight goes on, then we can reach that stage as well, because Iran will be keen to do that, though it's trying to show it to be a very responsible state in a whole this scenario, trying to take a moral high ground, which they have at the moment, and they would like to continue to have that, because they are showing that they have been attacked. They are still acting very responsibility. Strait of Hormuz is not closed. They are allowing people to go. Of course, there are reports that now they want to charge cess also. There's some report that their parliament is going to pass some law. How they will be charged and all, of course, this is in the future. But they are trying to show themselves as a responsible power compared to Israel and USA. So they would like to continue to have this high moral ground. But if this line of attack continues, I think we are looking at a very, very difficult situation in the energy markets.
When we talk about being a responsible state ambassador, let me just introduce this piece of information that is coming in. 2 Palestinians have been killed in an Israeli drone strike on Gaza City's Zaytun neighborhood. The attack occurred this morning in the Al Zaytun neighborhood, according to Palestinian medical sources and local witnesses. Let me go across to Air Commodore on this. Sir, the ambassador has been putting out some very pertinent points. When we are talking about responsible power, in this war and over the past few days, like the ambassador pointed out, we are seeing some sort of conflict between Israel and the US and how they seem to be proceeding with their strategy for this war. US President Donald Trump is in a very sticky situation right now, sir. He is facing a lot of discontent from his own senators in the US as well, most of them likening the situation to the Iraq war that took place, and a lot of, in fact, like the ambassador pointed out, he's also looking at the oil prices, which should not escalate, because then the people will rise, the sentiment will go against him. But we're looking at Israel. It is seeking, to complete 2 aims here. It's seeking to destroy Hezbollah as well, and it's seeking to destroy the Iranian theocratic structure that is present. And over here, the 2 strategies seems to diverge, Air Commodore.
Shivani, if you see clearly, whatever you have said, everything is making sense, but there seems to be no divergence inside. This divergence is required at times to show or to reflect depending on the circumstances and how you want to manage things within your own country. Otherwise, all the tactics and everything has been together. Their aims have been together and their aims have been the same, and it suits both of them. That is why they have put everything online. Israel has put everything online and US has put everything, including their reputation, online. So there is no way out of this for them also. And if you notice, the Senate had cleared the previous expenditures and now another 200 billion is there. That also is likely to be cleared, because despite what their intelligence chief said yesterday, saying that Pakistan was rather a bigger threat and more immediate threat than Iran was, because Iran still had time. But the fact is, these people are preemptive. And also, not only do they want to remove this regime which is not suiting them, one, and which is oppressing, and which is got a problem with the freedom of rights for the people. So all those things in mind, and now since America has been able to get rid of the nuclear facilities, or at least degraded them for next few years, and also the Navy and the Air Force, and the missiles almost, they say 90%, but even if 1,000 are left, the work is still not done. Now Hormuz, they will have to maintain control, because it is not only a requirement of the world, but the fact is, if there is no oil being produced, Hormuz also will not be very important. Neither will be Red Sea, which is going to come into the picture very soon in this phase, because Yemen is going to get activated, and oil to the west through Cairo will also get affected very soon. But if all the oil supply is affected only after it is produced. So what I'm saying is, Israel and US are on the same page. At times the requirements are different and timings do go haywire, but everything is going as per the plan. And right now, if you notice, today and tonight the plans are to cover all the southern areas, like I was saying, the southern areas of Iran, so that the missile attacks are reduced. And they have already taken care of their marine boats which were laying mines. And also they got some kamikaze boats, as well as the underwater drones, which are still to be taken care of. And that's why they have taken their aircraft carriers also slightly away from the action. And one carrier is also going back, maybe not because of operational reasons, but for repairs and all. And the Marines which are joining, 3,000 or 4,000, they are also going to join very shortly. And the intention is the same. You have to control Hormuz, and you have to maintain the situation so that the world opinion also does not go against you. Of course, Venezuela was not producing much of oil, though it had the largest reserve. America has got it now, so they will try and compensate a little bit, maybe 10%, by producing more and more from there. and catering for the requirements. Russia, of course, is now being giving to all the people as sanctions have been removed from Russia. Though not that we had anything to do with that, we were taking the oil as it was required. So this is what the situation is, and this phase had to come if there was not stopping at this, and if there was no break in their, despite their top leadership having gone, if there was no uprising coming up and there was no change of regime, this phase was likely to come. And I think it has been catered for. Even Trump said on the day one also that it will take 4 weeks or maybe six, and we are ready for even more. So I can see whatever is been said has been happening phase wise, and it will continue. Shivani.
Very interesting perspective was there.